Welcome back to the Global Gaming Network Power Rankings. My name is Eli the Ninja. We're going to go through a bit of a different type of episode today. So instead of a deep dive into a specific game, we're actually looking at the Esports World Cup, the club tournament that's going on. The teams that are participating in EWC can accumulate points if they do well in several esports. So we're going to break down each team's chances in the top 5 going into EWC. Joined with me today is CJ, aka Pathfinder. How are we doing today, CJ?
What's going on? Thanks for having me on, Eli. I appreciate it, and I'm excited to watch all the Esports World Cup action that's coming up in the next couple weeks.
Yeah, it's going to be 26 different esports, which is crazy. We don't often see that many under one roof, but it's going to go on for 7 weeks, and there's a total of $70 million, actually more than $70 million up for grabs across all the esports, but 27 million of it go just to the club championship. So the winners will get $7 million, which that's probably going to pay a lot of salaries if you're an esports org that has a lot of different teams in it. So all these teams are going to be fighting for it. But I want to tell you guys real quick about how the rankings work. So the rankings are devised into 4 main pillars. The 30% is going to be expert consensus. Another 30% goes to participation, so the total number of teams they have. Another 30% is their strength to win, so the likelihood that each individual esport is a winner for that team. And then for 10%, we also had to include last year's performance because one way to predict the future is to look at the past. So that's what we're doing as part of our rankings. But enough mumbo jumbo. Let's go ahead and talk about the first team on our list, and that's going to be Twisted Minds. They came in with a score of 45. This team has a lot of powerhouse hitters. Tekken 8 specifically is probably their best chance to get first place in one of these tournaments, and that's because they have Arslan Ash, who is a Tekken 8 demon. We've also got Hero for StarCraft, but CJ, any other standouts for this organization that we think we should look out for?
I think this is going to be a game, a little bit of attrition in the fact that if you can have more games, more teams per title that are able to give you some points in each individual area, that's going to help a lot, right? Because it's not necessarily about getting first. It helps to get first in each one of these, but it is a great starting point to have a lot of different teams, a lot of games. And Twisted Mind has really hit this on the head. They are playing in a ton of different esports titles. They have maybe the #1 Tekken player right now that's going to be able to take them and get them an easy win. And they're in a variety of other titles, StarCraft 2, PUBG, they've had some good run-ins recently. And then Overwatch 2, they've got a roster in there that's going to be able to compete. And so because they have so many different opportunities to be able to compete, that's one of the reasons they're number 5 is because they're going to have a great showing in the fact that they have a lot of slots right now to be able to try and take some points away from others.
Yeah, this is an organization that I think has been around for a long time, but are kind of having a resurgence. They are getting into more and more games, and it might be part of their strategy to have enough to sign up for EWC because, like you said, the more it is a volume game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
If you got more opportunities, you're going to probably place better. So We'll see if they can get their return on their investment, but let's go ahead and look at the next team in the rankings, and that is going to be one of my personal favorites, and that's Team Vitality. They come in with a score of 56 for us here. Obviously, they've got the #1 Counter-Strike team in the world. They're on an unprecedented heater right now, winning the last 6 major lands in a row. They might be the best team ever, and it's no telling when they're going to stop. They've also got a fantastic Rocket League team. This team is consistently in the top 3, winning a lot of major tournaments. They've also got a chess player, Maxime Vachier-Lagrave. Hopefully I'm saying that correct. Of course, the French phenom. And in Rinsport, they've already won their group. So Vitality, do you think that, all the heavy hitters they have, are they going to maybe just rely on getting first place finishes? What do you think, CJ?
I think they're a shoo-in for Counter-Strike. We've seen Vitality be really dominant up to this point, and there's a couple teams that will be able to take them down. Obviously, the Falcons is one of their nemesis on that side. The Mongols are as well. And those teams will be at EWC. Rocket League is another one where historically, last year they were good. This year, they have not been playing as well, and so they might be a shoo-in for some points, but I don't think they're going to be the #1 going into that one. So there's a little bit of trade-offs here where they're going to win some and they're going to lose some. Having that number one French chess player on there, I think, is a difference maker for them. That should be some points for them on the back end of this. And then once again, they do have a lot of teams over a lot of different games. They're going to have a football club team as well. And a lot of these mobile games are on here is going to make the difference for these guys. And I think this is going to be impactful for that. And obviously the Counter-Strike team leading the way here. They should be a shoo-in for that side. So.
Okay, yeah, they've also got the StarCraft player Maru, who is a huge Terran player that's supposed to be very good. I also watch a lot of their team fight tactics players. They've got Setsuko, the fan favorite K3 Soju. Yeah. They've got a few other heavy hitters. Prestovit, I think, is one of their players as well. So it's going to be interesting to see how they do on the big stage over the next several weeks. But that's enough about Team Vitality. Let's talk about our next team, and that is going to be Team Liquid. They have a score of 58, and they've got the biggest chess name in the world. That's Magnus Carlsen, of course. I can't even imagine how much they're paying that man to be on their squad. He is one of the greatest of all time, if not the greatest of all time. Also have a French prodigy named Clem for StarCraft 2. So a ton of teams as well, 17 according to our calculations. By the way, these numbers could change. There's still a lot of qualifications going on, but how do you feel about Team Liquid, CJ? Do you think that they're going to rise to the occasion here?
Yeah, Dota 2 is another great example where these guys have been awesome. And this is a legacy brand in Liquid. You're seeing a lot of different teams that they're investing into. Their Counter-Strike team is kind of mid, if I'm honest. I don't think they're going to do a lot of things on that side. I'd actually be surprised if they got points on that. But they are in here, and they're ready and available. And I think one of the things that's great about Liquid is they do have a lot of teams that are readily available to compete in this. I think Hikaru is another example. I probably said his name. I'm sorry, bud. Hikaru. But he's probably the number 2, right? So they're probably going to get second in chess. I think that's going to be some good points for them as well. And then they have diversified their profile over some Crossfire games, and then Bang Bang, League of Legends, all of these games where they're going to have at least a shot. On the mobile side, I think some of those are a little bit of a coin flip where these are teams that are not necessarily native to those mobile environments, but they have seen, hey, we can make a lot of money on the champion side, so how can we reinvest? And so this is a team. Team Liquid has done that for sure. And we'll see if they're going to be able to compete. They're definitely a runner they could win the whole thing ultimately if they have good showings in the mid games that they're in. So.
Okay. Yeah, for Apex, they also have a pretty strong roster as well. Team Liquid's always in the mix. And yeah, according to this, they have Magnus Carlsen, Hikaru Nakamura, and Fabiano Caruana, all for chess, which are like 3 of the top 5 players in the world.
Yeah.
If that's correct, then I have to imagine they're going to win chess. I don't know if they can get, I think they can only get points for 1 player per club, so it's not like they could just monopolize the top 3 spots and get a ton of points. They can only get their highest placing. So they should be a shoo-in to win chess. Everything else, they could do pretty well also.
Yeah. I didn't realize Magnus is on here, but obviously Magnus is.
Magnus is probably going to win the whole thing.
Yeah, agreed.
He's been kind of struggling lately, though, so we'll
see. We'll see.
All right, let's go into the number 2 team on the list. And this one kind of surprised me when I did some research on this and looked at how many teams they have fielded. It's going to be Virtus Pro. They actually have over 20 teams participating in EWC. There's only 26 games to do it, so almost everything. This team looks outstanding. They won their group in Rensport already. Their Dota roster is very strong. They've placed in the top 6 at the last couple S-tier events. Their Apex team finished 5th at the 2024 championship. But they've just a volume game, right? I mean, what are the other games you think they're going to do well in?
Yeah, they have an Overwatch 2 roster, and so they're going to be in that spot, which will be interesting. Rainbow Six Siege is actually, VP has normally been dominant in the R6 scene, so that's going to be some points for them. I think there's a chance they could actually qualify and get some points in Counter-Strike as well. Once again, they kind of are in the same conversation as Liquid on the Counter-Strike side, so that'll be an interesting battle between those two and who can steal some points. And then on the fighter side, Street Fighter 6, a Valorant roster. I think that there's no Valorant roster. But
no, they do have Valorant.
They do have a Valorant roster. Yeah, I'm sorry. But yeah, and that Valorant, actually no, that roster has been really good. And so they have a shot to get some points on that. But ultimately, another diversified portfolio. I think all the top 5 here are going to have a lot of different rosters and a lot of different games. Because ultimately, I think it's more about not winning every single one, but being able to get points across every single game.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting to note is it's only top 8 for each game are the ones that make points, and it does vary based on the game. Like for the Battle Royale games, it's top 8, and it's like if you get 8th, you only get 50 points.
Sure.
But then obviously in the games that have a bracket, single elimination, there's going to be a tie for 5th, which honestly, those games look like they're easier to make points in because as long as you get to that top 8 spot, you're guaranteed 200 points, which can go a long way. So if you've got a ton of teams that can all place in the top 8, I think that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I don't think it's going to surprise anybody who we have for our number 1 pick. They are the reigning champions. They're putting on the EWC after all. It's going to be Team Falcons. They came in with a score of 96, which is insane. They came in first in every single category. They have the most participation. They have the highest likelihood to win each of their games. The expert ranked them first for obvious reasons. And they won last year. So, I mean, it's really hard to root against the Falcons for to be the favorites of this. They've got the best Apex team in the world with Imperial Hal that just came off a big win. Best Rocket League team, number 1 ranked Rocket League team right now. In chess, this actually says Hikaru Nakamura as well. So maybe we've got a couple of these mixed up. But it's really just a volume game for them. They're so likely to win.
Yeah, and they have constantly performed in every single title they're in. So it's not just about having a roster there, but this one is, the Falcons are going to be a spot where they are going to win a couple games for sure.
Yep.
I would definitely put them as a shoe-in on the Rocket League side. I think they've done tremendous over there. You said Apex as well. I would also put them pretty high up there on the Counter-Strike side. They can actually beat Team Vitality, so that's a possibility as well, especially with their additional roster that they are going to go to there. And Hikaru being on the Falcons is honestly insane too. So like, there's a lot of different layers to this one, but it's interesting that the Falcons have been able to invest fully onto this to be able to make themselves easily the number 1 seed going into it. They would have to flop in a lot of games to not win the whole thing.
Yeah, it's kind of a funny thing, right? Like, I'm not sure exactly how the money is moved around or where all this money comes from, but from the outside looking in, it's like Falcons are a Saudi-based organization.
Yep.
EWC is also Saudi-based. So,
Sure.
like, are they just investing money so they can not have to give the $7 million to someone else? It's
Sure.
like, they're like, we can call it a $27 million prize pool, but if we get the $7 million, we're only giving away $20 million. I mean, they're still giving away a ton of money for this, but
Yeah.
It's going to be a worthwhile investment, I would assume. I think it's impossible they even fall out of the top 2. Maybe Virtus Pro could take number 1, but they're certainly the favorite. So,
Sure.
A couple honorable mentions we have for you guys, though. We've got T1. I mean, we're glued to the screen during MSI right now. We love watching this team.
Yeah.
They're in the winners finals for that. But they also won the last EWC, so T1 for League of Legends. Of course, the most famous team and player in the world, Faker. But they've got a few other good teams, definitely not as many as the other teams that we listed. They've only got 8 participating teams, but each team's pretty good. So
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like, it's anybody's game in the fact that if T1 decide to have a showing and they win every single game, they're going to have a shot, just like everyone else. But they are on our honorable mentions list, mostly because they're a League of Legends team, and they have an Overwatch 2 team and a Team Fight Tactics team that have been looking really good going into this. So they're going to have shots to be able to perform and hopefully pull something out for T1, who has obviously got the legacy and the brand behind it. So
yeah, definitely a fan favorite, and I'm just happy to get to watch that league team play. It's such a joy to watch them play. I'm a huge fanboy. I'm just going to admit it. So any chance to watch them play more is awesome. The last honorable mention that we have is going to be FaZe. This is an interesting one. Obviously, heavy involvement in the FPS category.
Sure.
Their Black Ops 6 team, a lot of people thought they were the best team in the world, but we just saw how poorly they did at the World Championship. So they probably got a chip on their shoulder, and they're looking to bounce back. There's also some rumors of team changes, like maybe dropping Draza, which would be crazy. If they do that, maybe they'll wait till after this tournament. But what do you think about FaZe's chances in this type of situation?
Yeah, obviously, what I love about this is an NA brand that's going and showing up for these things. I think Call of Duty is one of the staples for them, but they have historically had an amazing Counter-Strike team. They've got Rain, Kerrigan, right? We've got some Frozen. There's
Elige.
A lot of Elige. Like this is a powerhouse of Counter-Strike team, and they've shown that they can show up in these big events. They also are a legacy brand in Rocket League. More currently, they have not performed as well, but they have won a lot in the Rocket League sphere on the same side. And then Apex Legends team that they can kind of throw out there that have been kind of middle of the pack. But if you're in tune with the FaZe brand, these are guys that can pop off any moment. And they're going to sell tickets, and that's one of the things that's going along with the FaZe brand with them. So they're an honorable mention for us because we think that they can do something. But We'll see what it is.
We'll see what they can do. At the very least, we know they're the content king, so they're going to make some content out of it, whether they win or lose. So they'll make some money on the side regardless. But this has been a really fun episode of Power Rankings. Like we said, a little bit different than before. Let us know what you guys think. If there's any teams that we missed that you think might have a better chance to make it into the top 5, are there any particular teams you're rooting for to win the EWC so they can pay their players a little bit more? Let us know. We're going to be following it on the rest of our shows. Today in esports, we got queued up. So make sure you guys subscribe, like, and comment for more action on the Global Gaming Network. And until next time, we'll see you guys on the other episode.